hope this is not like the New York media. They can be tough at times. I'm pretty sure you guys will obviously throw me some softballs. It's a pleasure for me to be here, obviously, for a couple of reasons. All the proceeds, obviously, go to Catholic schools, and that's very important as far as I look at it in my life. I'm a practicing Catholic. My son attended high school. My daughters right now that are in the second and third grade are in Catholic school. But my wife obviously went to Catholic school as well in Catholic University. So when I was asked to come here, it was kind of ironic because it's on a Sunday, and generally we work on Sundays. There's a lot of football going on, by the way. I know the bishop is happy because we spoke last night as Denver Broncos won. Kind of shaky there for a little while, but they found a way to win, so that's important. But I think the thing that really reflects for me is teachers and what they mean to everyone in this room. They're really like parents when you think about teaching, education. They spend about 8 hours a day with our children. Very important that they have the benefits to make sure they can advance our children. They're like moms and dads, to be quite honest. They don't get a lot of credit for what they do. Long hours, as we know. But they are a foundation of our child's education. And obviously, Catholic schools provide more than that. They provide a moral compass for us, which I think is very, very, very important when you go to school. This is why I chose to send my children to Catholic school. I thought it was very important for them to make sure they were well-rounded. We live in a difficult world anymore, and I do believe we are all a collection of our choices. And when you have faith in your life, your priorities become more defined for you. I learned that at a pretty young age. My priorities are very simple. It's my faith, my family, and my occupation. It's always been that way. It was that way when I was a football player, football coach, and now ESPN analyst. So I just think that that has to be a part of our life. It's not about just going to Mass on Sundays. It's about living a life as a Catholic. And living it every day that we get up. That's very important, not just on Sundays. I think we are all ambassadors for our beliefs, what we stand for. I think that's very important. And I think if you can fill children with that early, they have a better chance to have success in our communities, which is very important. So this is the reason I'm here today. It's really not about being an ex-football coach, being an ex-football player. It's really to share my faith and really thank the teachers for all the hard work they do, day in and day out. It reminds me a little bit of a center that plays football. The quarterback gets a lot of credit. No one realizes how hard the job of the center is. I'll tell that story tonight. It'll be interesting. Because most people, when they watch football, they look at the quarterback, and you should. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees. But there's a guy that hikes the ball to the center, to the quarterback. He's the center. Doesn't get a lot of credit. Reminds me of teachers. Reminds me of teachers. But they have to go through and all the time they put in with our children to educate them. So these are the reasons that I'm here today. Any questions?
You talk about how important faith is, and not just in your life, but when you look at some of the high-profile players, Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, and a lot of less ones, it seems like we've had one a week. Do you think there needs to be more of an infusion of that? Rather, it's some of these guys maybe don't have the upbringing, but is there a way to do that? There's activities teams have in training camp and team counselors and things like that, I think, aren't there?
That is all in place. You'd be surprised how many guys in our league do it right. And I think we lose sight of that. There's 1,700 professional football players. But like anything else, it's almost like being a priest. If you make an error being a priest, they look at the whole Catholic Church and say, well, the whole Catholic Church like that. It's not like that. It's always a few guys. And we can't paint with a broad brush, I don't think. And we've had some incidents. And basically, we didn't handle it correctly from the beginning. When you think about the Ray Rice incident. And that comes into play in this sense. I think sometimes our moral compass gets going in the wrong direction. I'm a big believer of this, is that money is a good servant, it's a bad master. And when money becomes the big player in life, we make bad decisions. Our league made an awful decision with the Ray Rice issue from the beginning. And they compounded it by making another bad decision, and finally they corrected it. And I just believe when you do the right thing in the beginning and you have a moral compass, it would never resulted in a month of turmoil in the National Football League. And these are people in a position of leadership, and that's what failed. Our ability at the leadership position to say, hey, this is the right thing we have to do. And regardless of who the player is, if he's a star or not, it's bigger than football. It's way bigger than football. We had a chance to set a precedent to say something about domestic violence as a league. We have a problem in our society, not just the National Football League. So I just think players are a part of our society.